Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Liberty.
I'm Matt.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Polly.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
Yeah, I'm Dom.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Morning, ladies. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We're making our rounds this morning, just checking on all the animals, making sure that our water bowls are thawed out. It's not near as windy today as it was yesterday, but all that wind brought in a pretty strong cold front. Our temperatures aren't gonna get out of the 20s today, and the real feel, it's in the low teens. However, because we don't have that much wind today, it doesn't seem to be bothering the animals too much, and I think they're gonna be just fine. I did the smart thing, and I wore my knit hat because yesterday, my head was pretty cold. I don't like that. One thing I'll note, we have an underground water bowl for those chickens. However, it seems to have frozen at some point. Not 100% sure where or how that happened, but we do have a tub of water in there with a floating heater, so that's been making life easier on us. Good morning, other ladies. I haven't seen my dad at all yet this morning. I'm gonna guess he's at the Wholesaler right now. We only go to the Wholesaler a few times a week this time of the year. When it gets to summertime and we need more things, we'll go more often. But thankfully this time of the year, we don't have to make too many runs. Excuse me, lady, excuse me. Over. There's still a decent amount of straw in these nests, so that's a good thing. That means the chickens didn't kick out all the straw, just some of it. I gotta say, even in these cold temperatures, these ladies are putting in work. Look at that basket of eggs. That is pretty full. Dad is now back and he has joined me. The boys are unloading his truck for him. He hopped in the skid steer loader, he got it all warmed up, and now he's putting silage into the feeders. Oh, of course it's frozen to the ground. Got it. Nice dry corn flows so much easier than wet corn. The whole corn kernel experiment that we have been running has been working out very well. We're happy with the signs that we've seen. Things have been very positive. The cattle have been utilizing the energy from each kernel. So that's very important. We're happy with doing this. It saves us a lot of time when it comes to grinding feed. Not having to add all that corn into the grinder, it just makes it go so much faster. When we do add the other grain on top, we're adding basically like minerals, like salt, for example, just to make sure that the cattle are getting everything they need nutritionally. I'm impressed with myself because with my lips being as cold as they are, and I said nutritionally with no problems, I'm proud of myself. But anyway, the calves have also been getting the whole kernel, and it's been working out for them as well. This back area, only the younger cattle can get back here to ensure that they get a fair share of grain. All things considered, we've been very happy with it. The farmers that we've spoken to, they also have been very happy with it. So as long as we continue to see good signs, we're gonna stick with it. Cattle are now all fed. Dad and I just got finished off dumping the last of the grain into the feeders. Now when it comes to what our animals eat, a bulk of that being the whole kernel, and it's saving us so much time, it's something that we've really appreciated. Now today when we grind feed, we are going to be adding some corn into the grinder. Now a reason for that is to just try and extend how long we can feed for. Usually when we fill our large hopper, that lasts for about a week, week and a half. But when we feed the whole kernel separate, and then we have a little bit of corn in our bin, that allows us to extend the duration of the grain that we have. It's just something we've been doing lately to try and make it so that we have less work to do. That's the best way I can put it. We just don't want to be grinding feed every single week. If we can put it off for 2 or even 3 weeks, oh, it's just so nice having to get all the equipment out. It's just so much work. There's a lot of benefits when it comes to grinding your own feed. That's something we've always enjoyed doing. Lately with the chickens, we have been purchasing some feed from a local place. It's all the ingredients are basically the same thing that we use. It's just saving ourselves some time. We've been throwing around the idea of getting a new grinder, but my goodness, they are expensive. But then on the other hand, you know, you need it, right? You need to feed your animals. So we've been talking to a few local mills in the area, some people that do grain, just trying to figure out what works best for us. We like knowing what exactly goes into the feed that our animals are eating. So that's just one of the challenges that we've been facing lately, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Are we gonna get a new feed grinder? It's pretty expensive, but we kind of need it. Or are we gonna try what a lot of other people in the local area are doing? Are we gonna start getting our grain pre-sourced from somewhere else? There's just a lot of decisions that go into farming, especially when it comes to animals. Most important thing is the health of the animal and our customer. We try and do everything possible to make sure that both of them are happy and healthy. That's gonna basically do it for animals. Dad has already got the calves taken care of. We've also got the other calves out here taken care of. So animals are done. They all look really good. The cold didn't seem to bother them. We had a few frozen water lines here and there, but nothing we can't manage. Our next job also involves being out in the cold, so I'm gonna make my way up into the farm market, warm up for a little bit. I got warmed up a little bit. That's really nice. The sun is now out and it is really strong today. So that's helping to warm things up. Even though the temperatures aren't gonna get out of the 20s, having that sunshine feels so good. While I was warming up, Daniel took our 130 and he got hooked up to our feed grinder. What we like to do is get the feed grinder in place and then we have our chutes right up into our bin. As we're filling up our grinder, we can just unload immediately into our hopper. This hopper has made feeding so much easier. We used to put everything into bins that looked just like this, and for the longest time that worked out really, really well. But it became a lot of work when we started getting more and more cattle. We're at the point where we go through this thing fast. So because of that, we would go through those hoppers like crazy, and always putting the hoppers up and down. It could get dangerous at times. So we moved on to this hopper and we really like it. The only thing I'll say is we would have liked to have gone bigger. Now we know. If we do get more hoppers in the future, we have places that we want to put them where we can get our soybean meal, where we can get other minerals, so that when it does come time to grind, it's a lot easier to get everything filled up. But now that we're into place, all we're doing is waiting on one more thing, and then we'll be able to get started grinding. Dad just brought down the skid steer loader. These are the last few ingredients that we needed for grinding feed. So what we have here is soybean meal, which acts as a protein. We also have some molasses here, just to add a little bit extra to the feed. And then we have a mineral pack. Now the interesting thing about the mineral pack, it's kind of like a multivitamin. There's salt, there's other vitamins in there. There's no hormones, there's no medications. This is all stuff that we've been using for a very long time, and it just adds to the feed, it adds to a healthier animal.
And that's why we don't just feed straight whole corn, because we don't have the vitamins, the minerals, and the protein. Corn is only like a 7-8% protein, and we want our feed to be about 14% protein, 12-14. So we add the soybean meal, which is a 48% protein. So you mix so much to the mixture, so we can have the protein for the cows, and then we want them to get the minerals so they grow and they're healthy.
So by making sure we have our ingredients correct, it makes this so much better for the animal, and ultimately it makes it better for the consumer, whether that's us, the customers, the people in our local area, whoever's buying our beef. Just makes it better all around.
The soybean meal is a byproduct of the soybeans. They take it and they press it, and they get all the oil out of it. The oil could be used for oil-based paint, ink, a lot of printing. You can even use it to make diesel fuel added with a
We have farmers locally that actually do that. Pretty cool. You're pretty good at talking to this camera, you know?
Yeah.
You could almost film without me.
I'm starting my own YouTube channel. It's gonna be wisdom from Papa. It's gonna take the world by storm. Nah, I don't think so. If you're interested in what's in the minerals that we're feeding, it's 94% salt. We have zinc, iron, magnesium, copper, iodine, and cobalt. That's what's in the minerals.
The same way I take a multivitamin in the morning, the cattle take a multivitamin every time they eat. It's good for them. How we doing today, Daniel? You enjoying the cold weather?
Yeah.
Yeah, you love it, don't you?
Yeah.
Dad just got his foot cut. Show him what you look like. Yeah, it's, oh!
Apparently we're in the wrong spot, the boss said.
Who's the boss?
Today, Daniel. You didn't move over at all! You didn't move over at all, Daniel! You need to get it overboard!
Is that how you stick it to the boss?
Yeah.
You make him back up an extra time?
He thinks he's in charge. I'll show him. You didn't move over enough, Daniel! Do it again!
I think he's moved over enough. You just keep making him do it.
Well, I ain't gonna be wrong this time. Oh! Pull ahead a little bit!
Hey, Daniel, you gotta pull ahead like 3 or 4 inches. I told you he has to pull ahead more.
No, we're good.
You think so?
Against yourself. Not against this. Against something to hold that up there. Hold it.
So now we're unloading from our auger into our bin. The grain follows this auger all the way to the top and just drops right down in. You can see where our level is at right now. Right here is where the grain is. So we'll hope to get this thing just about filled all the way to the top. This hopper that we have in front of us, it will usually take about 2.5, 3 loads from our grinder. We already had a little bit in there, so I think we're gonna just try and put 2 loads in today. But if it's not gonna fit, we can leave it in the grinder. It's not a problem at all. I don't mind doing this job, but being down here in the shade isn't fun. Hey! Thank you! While we're waiting for that hopper to fill up, Dad and I came over here to grade some eggs. We had one of our friends show up, Liberty. He was doing some volunteer work and he was in the area, so he just popped in. Right now we're grading the eggs. We've got quite a few jumbos and we've got quite a few extra larges. That's what we're looking for. For the most part, the chickens have been producing really, really well, despite the cold temperatures, despite their water freezing on them all the time. they haven't slowed down in the production of eggs. That's something we've actually really appreciated. In this area, there's a lot of people who do baking. There's a lot of people who cook around here. So you fly through eggs. Not only do we have that, but some local restaurants will actually pick up eggs and use them themselves. So we try and make sure that we have plenty of eggs. That's why we have the 2 batches of hens. We like to make sure that we have enough eggs, not only for ourselves, not only for the restaurants, but especially for the people locally, because the people locally, they really love fresh eggs. The sad thing is, a lot of time when you're purchasing eggs from the store, you can never tell how old the eggs are. Here, we collect every single day because we need eggs every single day. We run out all the time, and sometimes that'll upset people because they'll show up for eggs and we won't have any, but it just helps them to realize that these are fresh eggs. You gotta get them day of. You're pretty good at that, Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, professional.
This is amazing.
The neat thing about this grater is I think my great-grandfather actually bought it.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, this grater. So it'd be my Grammy, her dad. If you remember before, our line on our hopper, it was right about where the tip of my finger is. Now it's up to, I can't really see it, right about there. Yeah, so we've made quite a bit of progress. That was 1 load. Daniel and Matt are now working on the 2nd load. They're grinding. And then myself, Dad, and Liberty are still in here working on grating eggs. Do you like grating eggs?
Absolutely.
We've been able to knock out 2 big jobs. We were able to get an entire box of eggs grated, and now we're unloading the last of the grain into our bin. This was something that really needed to be done like yesterday. You saw how low we were starting to get. Now that this is done, it's one less thing we got to worry about. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to be on the beach right now?
This is perfect.
You think so?
No, it's sunny, not windy.
It's not sunny here.
Sunny over there.
My hands are cold.
Are they?
Yep.
You know what they say to do about that?
Put them in my pocket. Shut up. That should about do it. I'm not seeing any light. We filled it full.
This is the brain trust right here.
We're all doing thinking.
Between all 4 of us, we have 1 brain.
No. There's 2 brains here, mine and those 3. Take the shovel and go over the bin and just throw it out here?
Yeah. This is what special treatment looks like. Extra grain. Here you go, guys. That's gonna do it for Down Around Back today. We just got done talking with Dad. Well, the 4 of us were standing over there. He had said to us, we got 2 options. We can either just hang out here or we can go hunting. Which to me, those sound like 2 really good options. The only thing is, I'm not sure if I can go hunting. I'd have to see how Callie is feeling. Twins are doing much better today. I'd say the twins are basically back to normal. Callie, however, is not back to normal. She had a rough night last night. And she's a happy girl, as always, but she is not enjoying being sick. So we're gonna have to talk to her, see what's going on, and then we'll make our decision from there. Oh, a heavy enough vehicle must have came up here and broke the ice on my foot washing puddle. Good. I was worried this wasn't going to be available. It is now lunchtime. It looks like we are having sandwiches, and we've got some leftover fajitas. Look over here. Grammy's also got stuff that we're not allowed to touch. Woohoo! Poppy seed rolls. We got the whole crew here. We just vacuum sealed some gluten-free deer jerky. This is for our friend Carrie. They were the friends that were staying with us, Justin and Carrie. And now we're vacuum sealing some other stuff. What do we got here, Matt?
Deer bologna.
Deer bologna. And then we've also got some kibasi that we did. The most important thing to remember is this is just for us. We do not sell it. We eat it all ourselves. And then in here, we've got some other stuff vacuum sealed for us. Ooh, some summer sausage and then here kibasi. I'm so excited. Look at all this bologna. And then on the way back, I'm so excited about this. We got finished packaging up all that meat, and then we were talking for a little bit. I have a job I need to take care of. Dad is going to visit another farmer today. My brothers Matthew and Daniel, they are going to be going out hunting with a few of the neighbors, so they are all taken care of. I need to get some cabbage picked though. Yes, we're still picking cabbage. Not that much, just enough to get us by in the farm market. I got filled up with some fuel, I got some air in my tires, and I've got 2 baskets to put cabbage into. It looks like the cold temperatures has been affecting the cabbage a little bit, but not enough to stop the harvest. I think we're in a good spot right here. Rule number 1 for winter cabbage harvest: don't cut your fingers. That's the most important rule. Oh yeah, there's some ice in here. Woo! Yep, there's ice on the bottom of the cabbage. Let's see if I can show you. Look at that. That's some frosty cabbage. Well, what I'm finding is that the knife definitely doesn't want to cut through the stem of these cabbages, but that's because they're frozen solid here. Like, I can chip pieces of the stem off. So these leaves act like little bowls holding water. So all the water we receive from that rain sit at the base of the cabbage and then just freezes solid. This knife has a little hook on it, so it makes cutting the cabbage a little easier, but there's literally ice on my knife. If the cabbage was not frozen, my gloves would be completely soaked. Thankfully, that's not a problem today. So the hands should stay warm. Oh, yeah, that is. Do you hear that noise? That's frozen. Oh. Look at the chunk of ice that was on this leaf. The ice, that's the veins from the cabbage leaf. That's like 1.5 inch thick piece of ice. Very cool. Oh, come on. Didn't want to cut through that one. There's our first basket of frozen cabbage. I can't see. Oh, here's a good spot. Oh, look at that. This is the only thing we run into that's a problem. Sometimes water will get in between the leaves and it will actually split the cabbage wide open. You see that? That's not good. We can't keep that. The only reason we can't keep that is because as it thaws, it's just gonna begin to rot. This one, same problem right along there. I can fit my knife right in there. But you know, this is why they say to harvest your cabbage before it freezes, right? Nobody says that. I'm gonna break this knife. I'm like bending it in half trying to cut underneath these stems. Now don't get me wrong, I'd prefer to harvest cabbage that is not frozen. However, this is a cool experience. And I'll be able to tell my kids one day when they're picking cabbage with me, oh, this is nothing. You should have seen when I was out picking frozen cabbage by myself. Yeah, it's all about having a good story. Ooh, this one is really, this outside leaf, it's frozen all the way to here. Yeah, this head is solid. And that will do it. Last cabbage, they are all pretty much frozen on that pile. Let's see if we can find a good chunk of ice here. There's a good one under this leaf. Look at that. Now there still is some cabbage out here that we can harvest. It's definitely going to be frozen until it thaws out, but that's the cool thing about cabbage. You can harvest it even if it's covered in ice, right? I don't know if cabbage is supposed to be heavier when it's frozen or what, but this feels pretty heavy. That should do it for the farm market. 2 bushel baskets full of frozen cabbage. Oh, there's a nice chunk of ice. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. See ya. Oh, here's an even bigger one. Look at that one, like a bowl. Wow. Cabbage ice. Ouch. Enough playing with my food. I gotta get this back to the farm market. Hey everybody, I just realized I forgot to end the video. After I got done with that cabbage, I came home. We had dinner. Twins are feeling much better. Ronnie might be getting sick again. I have no idea what's going on. Callie, she's getting a little better. Taking her to the doctor's in the morning. Lily's like nothing ever happened. She's fine, baby. Yeah, dinner was good. I'm tired. It's late. I'm going to bed. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.